Woof.
Okay, so this is today's dev blog. Let's blow that up just a tad more. DevBlog released today, November 18th, and I saw the title of this one. I said, well, there's no doubt I've got to talk about this on stream tonight, whether I start late or on time or whatever. Thankfully, we're fairly on time tonight. So today's dev blog is about AA mechanics changes. Now, how long has it been since we've had the carrier rework? It's been well over 3 years, hasn't it? I think. I usually am off on time, so it could even be closer to 4 years. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's been well over 3 years. And we're still diddling around with AA. Now, we all know that the AA system ain't really all that. It's just not great. And the mechanics of it are just not that good. So it'll be interesting to see. This says AA mechanics changes. Now, I haven't read the meat of this yet, so this will be a first read and first reaction. But it will be interesting to see if they can F up the AA worse than it already is. So I hate to constantly be negative on these dev blogs. I mean, I would like to find stuff fun to talk about, but it's just hard to because it's often so sad or so hilarious. But let's start out and see what we have to say. So closed concept testing of changes to AA mechanics will take place shortly. The changes are designed to increase the impact of AA on aircraft carrier offensive capabilities, shifting the impact from future attacks to current. Okay. Not sure how to interpret that, but they're designed to increase the impact of AA. I mean, that's a promising statement, but well, it's hope springs eternal. Let's see what we got. Shifting the impact from future attacks to current. I'm not sure what that means. In other words, does that mean we're going to make it more impactful on the squadron that's attacking? I don't know. Let's see. Let's start reading the meat of this and see what it has to say. Squadrons are now divided into a group that will launch an attack and a group of remaining aircraft. If an aircraft from an attacking group is shot down, its place will not be taken by other aircraft from the squadron. Okay. So, and I play carriers occasionally, only when the random number generator tells me I have to take a trip to the dark side. And yeah, that is interesting. If you've got an attacking group of 3 planes, but your squadron had 9 planes in it, if one of those 3 gets shot down, well, it just gets replaced from one of the 9. So what they're saying now is if you shoot down one of the group of attacking airplanes, that another plane will not take its place. So that actually has an impact on the attack. So, okay, has promise. The attacking group will be filled with new aircraft from the squadron only when there are no planes left in it. The attacking squadron will not be able to conduct an attack for a period of time after it has been refilled with planes. So if I'm understanding this correctly, what they're saying is now if you've got a squadron of 3 planes attacking and one of them gets shot down, well, in today's current game, it just gets replaced from one of the other squadron planes. So you still have 3, and you're going to get that attack through no matter what. Now we're saying if that plane gets shot down, you'll only have 2 attacking aircraft. So that'll limit the number. And if I understand this correctly, they're also saying that if all 3, for example, if you're attacking with 3 in an attack squadron, if all 3 are shot down, then they are replaced with planes from the remaining planes, but they won't be able to conduct an attack for a short period of time. So kind of like going to the next squadron. I guess. Like if you were to recall a squadron, like if you could recall a single squadron, it would be kind of like that. Recall attack a squadron, and we've got the next attack squadron. So, okay, um, possible promise. Good, good. Now, what's this next part? AA will have a new parameter. Okay, I don't like the sound of that. That sets the chance that continuous damage will be dealt to an aircraft from an attacking group. What does that mean? AA will have a new parameter that sets the chance that continuous damage will be dealt to an aircraft from an attacking group. So that means your continuous damage might not be continuous. Otherwise, the damage will be dealt to the aircraft from the rest of the squadron. In other words, the squadron is now divided into an attacking group and the rest. The rest is how they call that. AA can attack either an aircraft from attacking group or from the rest. And there's a parameter setting a chance that AA will choose an aircraft from the attacking group. Target selection will remain in effect for some time after leaving the air defense zone. So what we're saying now is when the attacking squadron is coming in, all right, first you tell us, oh, well, if you shoot down a plane in that attacking squadron, we won't replace it. But then they say, well, but there's a chance that your continuous damage won't really attack the attacking planes. It'll attack the other ones. Well, I mean, if you're on a, I'm sorry, but typically if you're on a battleship and there's attacking planes coming in, and then there's other planes and other squadrons out there, I'm thinking you're generally focusing all your fire on the attacking planes because that's the imminent threat. Isn't that kind of how that works? So now they're telling us that we're leaving it up to chance as to whether the AA will deal damage to the attacking group or the rest. So, okay. So I knew the first paragraph sounded too promising. They gave us some promise. They said, but wait. we're going to pull some of that promise back. We're going to find some way to throw a monkey wrench into the works. Okay. Well, even having the chance that we can take out some of the attacking squadron and not have it replaced might be better than the state that it's in now. I don't know. We'll have to see it in practice, because we all know if they can F this up, there's a good chance they will. Okay, so that's my take on this. We're not going to replace an aircraft from the attacking squadron if you shoot it down. But when you're firing your AA, it might or might not attack the attacking squadron. It might decide to shoot at the other planes that aren't attacking you. So that's what I'm getting out of that. Now let's see. What else does it say? If a squadron flies through multiple ships' air defenses, all continuous damage will be dealt to one selected aircraft. Okay. All continuous damage will be dealt to one selected aircraft. So that's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because now you're saying, okay, we got all this continuous damage. We're going to focus it on one aircraft to make it more likely that you'll shoot down one. But not being spread out means that now you've got, instead of having maybe, if you had an attacking squadron of 3 come in and attack with 3 planes and leave, and then you got 2 planes that are, damaged or something. Now you're going to be more likely to have part of that squadron that is still on full health. I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Again, I may not be understanding how that works, but we'll have to see. Again, I hope this turns into a, I can't say it's going to be a good thing, but maybe better than what we have now. I mean, can we get very much worse than what we have now on AA? I mean, I really hate to even say that because I know it's always possible. Be careful what you talk about. But they're also saying here, damage to aircraft by fighters, flaks, and instant damage of priority sector will not change. All right, so this is interesting with the changes. Now, you know, a thought occurs to me. How does this work with Russian carriers? Because this first thing about, you know, the attacking group being filled, I mean, you know, I mean, that doesn't really even apply to Russian carriers because that's already what they've got, is they've got one squadron, and when planes are gone from that, they're gone. And what about this thing that says that you've got, you know, the attacking squadron and the rest, that there's a chance that, you know, the chance that you'll attack the attacking squadron and a chance the rest. Well, how's that going to work with Russian carriers? Does that mean that there's a chance that you just won't attack the attacking squadron, or does that mean you're always attacking the attacking squadron because that's all there is? That's a question that's a big question in my mind. That's interesting, but not at all surprising, shape or form. Okay, so they're saying with the changes, the player will have the opportunity to reduce the damage from the ongoing carrier attack by shooting down planes from the attacking flight. It is also now possible to return only the attacking group to the aircraft carrier by holding down the F key. Okay. So that means that if you've got, so I guess they're just saying that you don't have to recall the, well, see, that's actually a little bit, potentially a little bit an advantage of the aircraft carrier, because now you have to recall the whole squadron. And it looks like they're saying you can just recall, I'm sorry, I've got a bad splatter on my monitor here or something. But anyway, yeah, it looks like you're saying that the carrier can just choose to say, oh, nope, I'm just going to return the attacking squadron and see what I can do with the rest. So that's also, I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, I can't look at that and tell you that's an advantage or a disadvantage, but it definitely gives another option to the carrier player. So, and of course they give us the blurb at the bottom that everything in the DevBlog is preliminary. Announced adjustments and the features may change multiple times and very possibly will. But yeah, I don't know what to think of this. It's almost like they give you the first paragraph and say, here's some hope. You know, and then they give you the second paragraph and say, well, we don't give you too much hope. We're going to give you some hope, but we're going to try to pull a little bit of that back. So, yeah, that's the way I'm seeing this. Basically, we now get an opportunity, a chance. I mean, that last paragraph says that right there, that we now have an opportunity to reduce the damage from the ongoing carrier attack. We don't have any guarantee that our continuous damage or whatever is going to focus on the attacking planes, but it might. And if it does, there's a chance we could shoot down one of those attacking planes that would lessen the impact of the carrier's attack. Just kind of that's kind of a Tater's take on this thing. I might be missing the boat on a few things. No pun intended, or maybe there was a pun intended, but that's my take on it. That I think that was a pretty darn good sound effect. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So I don't know what to think about this, but again, my hope is that they can't really make it too much worse than it is now. I mean, I know that the reality is that it's very likely that they can F it up way worse than it is, but we'll see. We'll see. We have a little bit of hope. I'll call this a glimmer of hope. Glimmer of hope. There's one AA Jedi left, and hopefully he will not be killed or taken over by the dark side. We will see. So that's it. That is our November 18th DevBlog on AA mechanics changes that are coming up. Remains to be seen what's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. How about let's go play some Warship? Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to see notifications of future videos, just ring the bell. Until next time, Tater Dawg says, woof.